Have you ever noticed they keep making really good lands in Universes Beyond? Now, if you don't know me, I'm newer to Magic. I started playing last year, so correct me if I'm wrong. But as a new player, I've noticed something. As a standard player, you focus on the lands that have been coming out. And starting with Final Fantasy, we had Starting Town, which is a great land. Very universal land for any deck with multiple colors. Awesome. The card doesn't cost a fortune, but I won't sit here and lie to you like it's cheap. Going for about $10 a copy, it's been fluctuating a few dollars one way or the other, so I don't want to say an exact price, but it's about $10, which isn't awful. Most people would say to you that's the cost of a shock, which for the most part, that's how much shock lands cost you. Another quality land in any format. And Starting Town is not just good in standard, by the way, it's also used in a lot of commander decks because anybody likes a land that gives them whatever mana they want. But you know, one standoff land in a set being good wouldn't raise any alarms. And honestly, I just thought it was cool. I own a few Starting Towns myself, and they have gotten cycled through plenty of decks. I like any card that I can recycle or throw into multiple decks. The fact that I'm spending money on cardboard feels silly enough, so the fact that I can at least kind of reuse it between a few things makes me feel better about it. And then we hit everybody's favorite Magic the Gathering set of all time, Spider-Man. Don't you guys like going to New York? I'm not here to slander Spider-Man, although man did I not like that set. Full disclosure, I didn't have fun with the Spider-Man set, but Multiversal Passage is a very cool land. Now, I brought up shock lands earlier, and if you don't know what a shock land is, it is basically a land that shocks you. Shock is a red spell that taps for 1 red mana and deals 2 damage to any target. These lands are basically a dual land. It will tap for a red and a blue, or a green and a white, whatever 2 colors you have paired together, but it only enters untapped if you shock yourself. That's a shock land. And basically what Multiversal Passage is a shock land, but you get to pick whatever color you want that land to be. You only get to pick 1 land type. So unlike the standard shock, where you'll get something like Stomping Grounds that taps for a red or a green no matter what, Multiversal Passage essentially will just be 1 color of mana no matter what you want, but it's only that color of mana as it enters. It's a little more limiting overall compared to something like Starting Town, whereas Starting Town, you could just tap it for whatever color mana you want every turn. You just got to pay the troll toll, but Multiversal Passage doesn't necessarily need to even pay any life for it to be used. You could just not shock it in and it'll still come in as whatever color land you need. A great fixing tool. I love it. Again, another card that I have a few of that I've been recycling through decks. It's a great card. I would say it's definitely not as good in Commander, but it's still great, especially in 2-color decks. The thing about Multiversal Passage is I feel like it has a sweet spot at 2 to 3 color decks, but obviously you would never use it in a 1-color deck. And 4, 5 colors, I feel like would be way too much for something like Multiversal Passage, but who knows? Maybe I'm crazy. I don't typically play more than 3 colors in a deck though, so I'm not one to really talk about that. Anyways, so far my point is we've had 2 Universes Beyond sets making 2 staple lands for multiple formats. And I don't know about you guys, but I've heard that Dr. Doofenshmirtz quote before.
If I had a nickel for every time I was doomed by a puppet, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice, right?
But hey, I wasn't gonna think anything about it. Like I said, I like the lands. I'm not mad. I have a lot of people in my comments with their tinfoil hats and their tinfoil condoms who are saying, it's Wizards of the Coast purposely printing good lands so you buy the set. My response to that is, why would it only be lands? Like, I don't understand why, because I brought this up a few times on TikTok and stuff, and people immediately will be like, oh, they're printing those to sell the set. But to me, I feel like Avatar had a card. They had Badgermole Cub, one of the craziest cards to come out recently, all right? That sold the hell out of that set. And also the set being awesome sold it. But that was the chase card. It had nothing to do with land. Okay, it did have something to do with land, but it wasn't a land. Maybe I'm not making sense with that, but I don't know. I feel like the whole like making good lands to sell a set doesn't make sense. It would just be making good cards, but maybe I'm being too nitpicky and you just tell me to shut up if that's true. Anyways, the newest Magic the Gathering set that we have all seen and played with is Marvel. Marvel Superheroes just released and they dropped some new lands. I only currently own 1. Do we have a name cycle for these so far? I've just been calling them the Marvel lands. Basically, basically these lands say you either tap it for a colorless or one of 2 colors of mana, but you can only activate it if it's come in that turn or if you control a basic. It's a little convoluted. Some people have also been calling them amnesia lands because they like forget after the first turn what to do unless they have a basic. I don't know. I don't really have like a particular name that I'm fond of. Marvel land has just been coming to my brain because they're from the Marvel set, but these are a good land. I think these are a staple in multiple formats. Again, it does suck that they don't have the land type of the card. They're not like a forest mountain and it like, so you can't search them off of like effects that would search for non-basics, right? That are like specifically a forest or whatever. That sucks. I like any card that lacks that is immediately worse. So like comparing this to something like the Surveil lands that came out recently that had the land types, like it's lacking that in the whole dual land thing. It doesn't have the shock searchability, but the fact that you can just throw this in like any deck, it's good in Commander. You'll have both of your colors of mana the moment you have a basic, and you should be playing at least a few basics in Commander. I think it's gonna be great in Standard. We have a rotation coming next year. We're gonna lose a good chunk of lands, so we need more lands. We need stuff like this, and personally, I think it's really good. But again, my tinfoil condom is ringing. Why is it in Universes Beyond? Is something happening? Is something going on here? I'm not mad. I'm not sitting here like to hate on Universes Beyond. It's just like peculiar to me. I didn't go to Final Fantasy pre-release, but I went to Spider-Man, and the only noteworthy card I left with was a multiversal passage. And I'd be lying if I said the same thing about Marvel, because I pulled a Mind Stone. Oh my God, Thanos, don't do the snap, bro, please. And this land kind of like rang that same bell, like, oh, I feel like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I don't play green and white, so this one specifically doesn't matter to me, but I felt like these lands are gonna mean something in a little bit. Like you should pick up a play set of these in your favorite color, or maybe pick up a few of these in all the colors you like, because I think these lands are gonna be useful, and especially while they're only like $1. Obviously, we'll need to see the rest of the cycle of these lands. I wonder what set they're gonna come out in. My guess is either gonna be The Hobbit or Star Trek. I have a feeling they might try to keep these sorts of lands in Universes Beyond, and then I can make another video sounding like a crazy person talking about lands in Universes Beyond while everybody else is just complaining that Universes Beyond is ruining Magic, and then I'm talking about lands. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I thought it was a dumb little rant. Just something I noticed and I would like to talk about, and I would like to hear what you guys have to say about it. One of my favorite things about these videos, or making videos in general, is going through and reading all the comments and seeing what you all have to say. Having that sort of interaction in community is awesome. Leave a comment if you got an opinion on this, or you know something about this, or you feel like you know more than me about this, or leave a comment if you think that you should eat cereal for breakfast. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment like I said, and subscribe for more stuff like this. I will see you all next time.